Hello. In this video, we are going to set up the different scenes for our Dragon World game. So right now we already have a scene. We set up the scene game, but I'd like to open up like a menu scene and all that kind of stuff. So I'm actually going to define that maybe at the bottom because the game is really more of my focus. And the way that this code works, exactly where I put stuff up and down isn't so important, and just I got to make sure not to bury it inside of functions where I'm not supposed to. So I'm actually going to go down to the very bottom here. Um, so after close game, that's important that I'm not inside of there. But yeah, I can define the menu scene down here. That's no problem. So I'll say scene, parens, quotes, menu. Then the arrow function for how does this get set up, comma, parens, arrow, curly braces. All right, so like a label, so add an object with text, quotes, dragon, world, comma, give it a pause of, I'll just center it. So width, parens, comma, height, parens. And this is um, the size of the game. So then I'm going to take that divided by 2 to have it be in the center. And then I'll set the origin to center. That'll help center everything exactly the way I'm hoping for. All right, so have this one object. Let's see what that looks like. So right now I'm saying go game. Comma. I have 3 components here, so I have to separate it with 2 commas. So I'm saying to go game first, but I'm going to change that to go menu. That way when the game loads, then it starts me at the menu. So, okay, I have Dragon World right here. Part of the problem is my scaling issue that I'm messing with, and you might not have noticed this, but at the very top of the code, I say to scale 3 because I wanted to zoom in pretty far. So I think I might actually turn that down to 1 just for now. So that looks a little more like what I want. Now, part of my problem is that my window is so small. Yeah, so there we go. It's centered a little bit. Okay, so I have that, and then I want to add a play button. So I'm going to just add another text object, essentially. So copy this. I have text that says play. I'll give it a tag of play button. That way I can define it later. Now the position, because let's just take a look at that. So they're laying on top of each other. The position, I want it to be just a little bit lower. So I could just add some numbers in here. So the width, the X position will still be the same. It'll just be the width of the game divided by 2, but the height should be a little bit lower. So if I add 50, that will push it down a little bit. All right, and then maybe it'll be more like 75. Yeah, all right. And I could actually get the position of this thing if I saved it, and I could do a little bit of math here, but um, this will be good enough for now. So it still has an origin center, but I did give this one a tag. That way I could do some click handling with it. So let me set up the on click. So on click, parens, quotes, play button. So tell it the tag of the thing that you're clicking. And then comma arrow function. What happens? Well, go parens quotes game. So go to game when you click on the play button. Okay. Oh, requires the object to have an area component. So my play button needs collision. That means collision with the mouse, but it does need hitboxes. Add another component, just called area. And notice the comma before it. All right, so that gets me to my game then. So we notice how it then is kind of zoomed out a little bit. I do wonder how I could go about modifying that later on. I didn't save my game. Scale is a component. So when I call the kaboom, I mean, I was able to set the scale there. So I'd want to try to scale these different things. I wonder if I could do that on scene. Level options. Okay, so just trying to find a way so I can modify the scale of the game. All right, well, I think for now I am just going to leave it this way. Um, and that way, as we're designing our level, we can still see the whole thing. But in the end, when we try to um, go out of our development mode, right now we're just testing so much, but when we go to development, then we might want to zoom in farther and add a camera and everything. But for now, this is actually going to help us test a little bit better. So we set up the menu, and then in future videos, we're going to set up the win and lose scenes.